Happy Saturday, foodie friends and grain-free VIPs, and welcome to today's Slice of the Grain-Free Lifestyle episode, where our topic is how can you simplify a grain-free lifestyle and still enjoy bread, cakes, cookies, pies, eat like normal. Oh my gosh, you guys picked a great topic. I'm so excited to be here with you today. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, I'm just waiting for a sound check from my VA, Arlene. Would you please say hello in the chat? If you're catching this live or if you are catching the replay, could you please use hashtag replay? And that way I will know to reach out and thank you, because it means so much to me to have you here with me. We are good on sound. Thank you so much, Arlene. Okay. Now, I know it might sound unreasonable, but we can absolutely avoid grains and top allergens and still eat like normal. First, I'm going to show you some examples and then we're going to get into it. Okay? Now, when I say eat like normal, I mean, I say everybody deserves pizza and cake on their birthday. And we should have some good stuff in between. What kind of good stuff? Hello? How about some lectin-free chocolate chip cookie bars? They look like chocolate chip cookie bars. They taste like chocolate chip cookie bars because they are chocolate chip cookie bars. They are just made with different ingredients. If you're a grain-free VIP, you have this recipe in my VIP recipe box. So let's get down to it. How can you eat like normal, right, while still avoiding grains and allergens? You want to enjoy cookies, bread, cakes, casseroles, pies. You want to eat a real Thanksgiving dinner. I know I do. I've spent too many years missing out, and I'm not doing that anymore. Okay? I took the doctor's advice and had a small exposure, and that got me hives on my birthday. No, thank you. Not doing that again. So, there are 4 steps to doing this. Okay? They are simplifying your ingredients. Okay? Finding a small set of satisfying recipes to start off with. Then identifying building blocks for recipes. Building blocks like flour, and egg replacer, and butter replacer, so that when a recipe that's not too complicated calls for something, you can still use that recipe. We're getting closer to eating like normal. And then, you ready for this? Making your dream recipes reality. This might involve taking those family recipes that you thought were gone forever and adding them back to your table. And you're going, what? Let's break it down, okay? If you haven't said hello yet, please say hello. I'm coming to you live from Oakdale, Connecticut. I love being here with you every Saturday. This is my mission, to help families eat like normal while avoiding grains and allergens so that they can share meals together and live their best lives. So let's start with step 1, simplifying ingredients. When I was diagnosed with an allergy to grains in 2012, I thought I just needed to get all the stuff, bring it into my kitchen, and then if I had all the stuff, I would make all the foods right. But that led to me wasting thousands of dollars on ingredients. And even though I spent so much money on ingredients, I never had what I needed to make the next recipe. I was going everywhere instead of seeking what I really wanted. I tried this bread recipe and it was okay, but I knew there was a better one. And I tried that bread recipe and it was all right, but it did have something in it that I couldn't have, and I got kind of sick after it. And at one point, I had 17 different flours in my kitchen. Half of them were expired, and I didn't have what I needed to make the next recipe. So how did I simplify my ingredients? Now I cook with a 1 flour blend. It's all purpose. Takes the place of white flour in almost any recipe. I say almost because I haven't broken every recipe yet, but I use that flour for fluffy hamburger rolls and cheeseburger casserole topping and pasta and donuts and pizza crust. One of my VIPs used it for pierogies. Another used it for chicken fried steak. We use it for chicken nuggets. It's all purpose. So I went from 17 different flours to 3 flours that I use in every recipe. Totally simplified. And I'm saving a lot of money because I'm not wasting ingredients. And anytime we can save money, oh, it's a win for everybody, right? So we're going to simplify our ingredients. We're going to keep it simple, right? We don't need to spend $1 million on ingredients. We need to know what is safe for us and then how we can use those ingredients to get the foods that we're craving. Now, for me, my safe ingredients, well, let me give you my allergy list. At our house, we avoid apples, almonds, bananas, beef, blueberries, cassava, corn, dairy, eggs, all grains, peas, pork, potatoes, soy, pineapple, oranges, sunflower, sweet potato, active yeast, benzoic acid, legumes, and my husband is lectin-free. And if you're like, what do you eat, Nina? Water, soup? No. I have 3 flours that I use in my breads, my cakes, my cookies, my casseroles, my donuts. Pies, people, pies! Like, it works. Okay, so I don't want you to think that just because your allergy list is as big as mine, or maybe even a little longer, that you have to sacrifice. We can learn to eat differently. Now, it helps a lot if you have at least a small amount of safe recipes that you can enjoy. And if you were on my email list, the first thing I sent you was my cookbook, 7 Simple Grain-Free Recipes. If you're like, I did not get that. All the recipes in there have no grains and no top allergens. So if you haven't gotten that yet, could you please put cookbook in the chat and I will make sure to reach out to you and get you your copy. So a small set of satisfying recipes that don't need any modifications, that if you use them tonight, you're good to go. What are my small set? Well, when I first started, I didn't have any. Every recipe that I found needed to be modified in some way. And let me tell you, it was maddening because when I tried to modify it, I made shingles instead of cookies and sheetrock instead of pizza crust. And I did a lot of crying, okay? So in my cookbook, 7 Simple Grain-Free Recipes, you're going to get a pizza recipe, a chocolate chip cookie recipe, my first flour blend, a pasta salad recipe, a brownie recipe, so that, oh, I think there's fried chicken in there as well. And you're going to be able to eat like normal without grains and the top allergens. So put cookbook in the chat if you haven't received that yet. And then we're going to talk about building blocks. Now, give me just one second. I want to grab something for you. This is my ranch seasoning, and this recipe is on my website. If you haven't been there, the website is breakarecipe.com, right? Break a recipe. That's why I call what I do breaking recipes, because I break the recipe down, take it apart, take out the stuff that is a grain or a top allergen, and rebuild it in a way that is safe. So this is ranch seasoning. It is made from dehydrated onions, parsley, garlic, salt. Very simple, because hidden grains can hide in seasonings. This is one of my simple recipes that I can count on. It's one of my building blocks as well, because when I'm in a rush and I don't have the time for fresh herbs or anything, just a tablespoon of this and I'm good to go. Other building blocks. Mayonnaise. If you're like, what's the grains in mayonnaise, Nina? For starters, white vinegar. But don't forget that eggs are a top allergen. Huge problem, right? So this mayonnaise, it's made without grains, it's made without top allergens, and it's also made without lectins, because I told you my husband has to be legume-free. So life gave us the blessing of lectin intolerance last year at Christmas, and it was wild. And nobody wants to start sacrificing at Christmas time. That's not fun. So I was really in recipe breaking mode, trying to get us foods that we could enjoy. And if you're like, Nina, how did you do that for Christmas? Well, our Christmas dinner, we decided to eat like 7-year-olds at the bowling alley snack bar. And so we had chicken nuggets, and we had pizza bites, and we had barbecue cheddar bites, and we had barbecue chicken, and we were just absolutely in heaven because it was all appetizers all the time. If you're like, oh my gosh, I want to help you do that. That's why I do this. That's why I come live every Saturday. That's why I'm here. That's why I offer no pressure consults to members of our group. If you're like, what's that? Well, in a no pressure consult, we meet on Zoom. I get to know you and we talk about your struggles with food and to see if I can support you. If I can't, no problem. If I can and you're ready, then we start working together, getting you to eat like normal again with recipes like pancakes and waffles, right? And donuts and chicken taco casserole and all the foods that you thought you might not enjoy again. So definitely use my calendar link. We'll meet for a no pressure consult and see if we're a good fit to work together. So we're going to start with simple ingredients. We are going to get that small set of recipes that we can survive off of, not forever, but in this time so we can stay safe. And then we're going to go to our building blocks. What other building blocks? I told you about the ranch seasoning. I told you about the lectin-free mayo. Hello, people. Butter. Like, Nina, that's not butter. This is my homemade lectin-free butter. No grains, no top allergens, no lectins, no legumes. Completely grain-free, dairy-free, and it melts like butter. It cooks like butter. If you were with us last weekend, you saw me use it to make a grilled tuna sandwich, and that tuna sandwich was good. I'm out of bread because I needed breadcrumbs. I got to bake more bread this weekend. Otherwise, I'd be making another grilled tuna sandwich. So why do we need those building blocks like the flour and the egg replacer and the ranch seasoning and the mayo and the breadcrumbs and the butter? The reason we need those building blocks is because we don't have to be limited. Using a little bit of food science and those building block recipes, we can break recipes and add our family favorite recipes back to our table again. If you're like, what? I want to be clear with you. When you have a cream cheese and a sour cream and a butter and a crumb, you can get cheesecake again. Yeah, I've been working on replacing my grandmother's cheesecake. Nana, I know I'm going to do it. I just can't eat cheesecake all the time. I have other recipes to work on. But we can get those dream recipes back to our table. Now, how do we do this? Well, usually we do this in coaching sessions. Coaching sessions when I meet with my VIPs and they say, Nina, this is what I want. This is what we're going to do. We get our building blocks. We look at our techniques because techniques are the other part. Now, techniques, hold on. Techniques are another topic for another day, but techniques are important because it's not just about the ingredients, right? That's where those building block recipes and learning to break recipes come in. If you're like, let's slow it down, right? So you're watching here live today. Thank you so much for being with me. And you're like, I want to eat like normal again. I want cakes. I want cookies. I want casseroles. I want pies. I want to eat my family recipes again. And I want to do it in time for the holidays. I don't blame you. I won't tell you to do anything that I haven't done myself. And for the last maybe 10 years, my family and I have been enjoying a grain-free, allergy-friendly Christmas Eve. It does contain fish because fish is safe for us. We have the entire Italian feast of the 7 fishes without gluten, grain, dairy, egg, soy, corn, almond, cashew, peanut, or sesame. And it is positively delicious. We've got our pastas. We've got our stuffed squid. We've got our bread stuffing. We've got our stuffed shrimp. And we are living it up using the same recipes that my great-grandmother brought over from Italy with her. The difference is we now make these recipes using different ingredients. I had to break the recipe. I had to figure this out on my own, but you don't have to. You shouldn't spend a decade like I did figuring this out. You can eat like normal in time for the holidays. So my VA, Arlene, has put my calendar link in the comments here. Use that. We'll schedule a no pressure consult and talk about how we can get you eating like normal again. It starts with simplifying your ingredients. And at first you kind of feel limited. You only have a small group. But when you get those building block recipes back onto your table and suddenly you're adding back family recipes, not only are you eating like normal, but you're gaining the health that you're seeking from avoiding grains and top allergens. I believe you can do this, and I'm here to help make it happen because the possibilities are endless when you break a recipe. All right, I will see you on my calendar. Use that link. You can do that.